Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to General Microbiology lecture series. In previous lecture we discussed about the bacterial cell wall including gram positive and gram negative cell wall. So here we will discuss in detail about the bacterial cell membrane. Moreover, some important terms and questions related to this topic are given at the end of this lecture. So what is cell membrane? Cell membrane, also named as cytoplasmic membrane or plasma membrane, it is a main component of a bacterial cell situated just beneath the cell wall, and it is about 7.5 nanometer thick. Bacterial cell membrane is a highly selective permeable membrane and regulates materials or substances into and out of the cell. It is composed of proteins, phospholipids, carbohydrates, water molecules, and it consists of phospholipid bilayer with embedded proteins. It contains of 20% of the total protein of a bacterium. So among the components, proteins and phospholipids are found in higher concentrations. Most of the cell membranes consist of approximately 50% of lipid and 50% of the proteins. However, the concentration varies in different bacterial cells. Fluid mosaic model. Fluid mosaic model of cell membrane was given by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. According to this model, cell membrane is a fluid phospholipid bilayer in which proteins are partially or completely embedded, or cell membrane is a quasi-fluid structure in which lipids and proteins are arranged in a mosaic manner. So why the scientists name the structure of the cell membrane as a mosaic manner? Actually, the term mosaic shows a picture or pattern produced by arranging together small pieces of stones, tiles or glass. So the structure of the cell membrane also looks like as a mosaic manner. The proteins embedded in the cell membrane serve as channels that have a pores and are divided into two major types, such as extrinsic or peripheral proteins, which are soluble in nature, and another one is the intrinsic or integral proteins, which are insoluble in nature. So if we look at the structure of the cell membrane, you can see here these are the phospholipids. Two layers of the phospholipids means phospholipid bilayer. One layer is upside and another layer is downside. So if we just observe a single component phospholipid of each layer, so this phospholipid is composed of two portions. One is head and another is tail. So head is composed of phosphate group and it is hydrophilic in nature, while tail is composed of fatty acids and it is in hydrophobic nature. These phospholipids play several functions. However, major role is providing permeability barrier and provision of environment for large numbers of enzymes and transporter proteins. So now if you see here, these are the integral and peripheral proteins embedded in cell membrane structure with the phospholipids. Some proteins are attached with the carbohydrates, so these are also called as the glycoproteins. proteins. The proteins work as channels and mediate transport of solutes. Now, if you see here, these are the oligosaccharides, a class of carbohydrates which play a structural role including several other functions. These are the glycolipids, and this is a type of lipids which is connected with the carbohydrates, and other type of the lipids they call as the lipid hopenoid. So this type of the lipids increase the membrane rigidity, and these works as a sterols. Here sterols mostly found in the cell membranes of the eukaryotic cells, so these sterols are absent in the prokaryotic cells. However, the lipid hopenoid just may serve as the sterols. But there is some bacteria such as cell wall-less bacteria, and among these one bacterium that's called as the mycoplasma. So this mycoplasma is the only bacterium that contains the sterols in its cell membrane. So this is the main important. Say that mycoplasma is the only bacterium which don't contain the cell wall. However, in its cell membrane sterols are found, and these sterols help in rigidity of the cell membrane to protect from the environmental barriers. So this whole picture of the cell membrane looks like a mosaic. Functions of cell membrane. Bacterial cell membrane performs several functions. However, a major role of cell membrane is the regulation of transport of materials entering and exiting the cell, means transport of nutrients into cell and also transport of toxic substances out of the cell. The other functions of bacterial cell membrane include electron and nutrient transport, help in DNA replication, secretion of extracellular enzymes, photosynthesis, help in cell division, and also play a role in chemotaxis. Transport of molecules across the cell membrane. Cell membrane regulates the interaction between the cytoplasmic and the external environment. The transport of molecules in cell membrane consists of two main transportation systems such as passive transport and active transport. So if we talk about the passive transport, it is a movement of the chemical substances across the membrane from high concentration to low concentration. Usually this type of transport do not require energy. Passive transport consists of simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and osmosis. So the simple diffusion means movement of substances in solution from high concentration to low concentration. Facilitated diffusion, it is similar to simple diffusion but involves the membrane carriers, which are membrane proteins, also called as transporters, which first bind to a molecule and transport it across the membrane. Osmosis. Osmosis shows particularly the water molecules diffuse across the selective permeable membrane from an area with high concentration to low concentration of the water molecules. means only water molecules pass through the membrane by osmosis. Now active transport. This type of transport shows movement of the molecules across the membrane into or out of a cell with the help of energy. Means this type of the movement requires energy, or simply transport of molecules from low concentration to higher concentration. This type of transport is divided into two types, such as group translocation and oxidation linked transport. Group translocation, in which transported molecules are chemically modified, such as glucose phosphorylated, means first the molecules are chemically modified, chemically changed, and these are transported. In oxidation linked transport, in which transport of molecules occurs in an unchanged form, such as ions and amino acids.